Good morning and welcome to the video wrap from day 2 of the 2017 SMSF Association National Conference here in Melbourne. It's brought to you by Self-Managed Super Magazine and BrickX, the online fractional property investment business. I'm Darren Tyson-Chan, editor of Self-Managed Super, and the second day of the conference got underway with Vanguard Investments Global CEO Bill McNabb sharing some insights into how his organisation engenders trust.
The most important thing, I think, in this whole business is that we all remember these assets that we've been entrusted with are not our dollars. One of we hit a milestone in the United States. If you do the conversion of Aussie dollars to US, we just crossed 4 trillion. And I had a couple of reporters call and say, "What's it like to have $4 trillion?" I'm like, I have no idea. It's not my money. And it's 25 million investors' money, and I think it's really important that that's never lost on anybody.
This was followed by a panel featuring representatives from the ATO, Tax Practitioners Board, Treasury and ASIC, during which a special announcement was made to delegates by ATO Commissioner of Taxation Chris Jordan.
So we have signed a statement of intent where we have formalised that really good, strong, open, transparent and trusting relationship into a document that we hope you can all have a look at to see the sort of things that we want to do together. As the regulator, not just the tax collector, it puts us in a very specific role with you and with the SMSF Association being the peak body. It's so important for us to understand your needs, understand how we can make it easier, understand how we can make your life a bit quicker and in compliance and reduce red tape. And so this statement of intent is meant to formalise what we have as a great, honest, trusting relationship. And that trust is the most important part, so we can get all the important issues on the table and have frank discussions to try to provide solutions so you can get on with your work in the easiest, most efficient way.
SMSF Association CEO Andrea Slattery lauded the moment as an industry first.
This is the first time that it's ever happened between a regulator and the industry, and it's a wonderful opportunity as the regulator of SMSFs to be working closely with the SMSF representative body called the SMSF Association. So we're absolutely delighted with this opportunity.
Main panel discussion, Jenny Wilkinson, Head of Treasury's Retirement Income Policy Division, revealed the government would be continuing to work on the superannuation system changes this year.
The work is not done, and that in any system which is still in the process of maturing, you need to keep an eye on how well the system is working in order to ensure that ultimately it's performing well for consumers.
Still on the topic of the superannuation changes, Chris Jordan nominated education as a priority for the ATO.
Clearly they are very significant changes, and as a regulator we want to make sure people are very much aware and know what their obligations are, know the new rules, so they don't get tripped up in sort of the changeover that is happening.
ASIC Deputy Chair Peter Kell cited the raising of financial advice standards as his organisation's immediate area of focus, including SMSF advice.
And as part of that, we'll have a major project this year on advice given to around SMSFs. We'll be looking in particular at advice that's been given recently to people about establishing an SMSF or advice that's currently in play. And as part of that, we'll be doing a shadow shop.
Chair of the Tax Practitioners Board, Ian Taylor, identified registrations as an issue that will be receiving close attention in 2017.
In fact, we've got over 20,000 tax financial advisors who have now registered with TPB.
The breakout sessions commenced after morning tea and saw Professional Standards Authority CEO Dean Sanders assure delegates that the concepts of professionals, integrity and trust were tangible.
But I've heard discussed even here at the conference so far this idea that they are elusive words, that they sort of defy explanation. And the thing that I want to make sure that I deliver for you today is that, from my perspective, they're not elusive at all. They're objective, they're real, and they're entirely about things that you can do. And I think it's a great danger that we fall into this idea that they're somehow magic words that are difficult to apply. They're very clear, they're very obvious, and we are very good at them.
A very popular forum before lunch addressed what lay ahead for SMSF accounting and advice practices. Rogerson Kenny Business Accountants Director Brett Kenny advised accountants to connect with their clients before undertaking the licensing exercise.
If you got one takeout from this from me, it's profile your client base and just have a look at them. Because if your existing client base is not going to be amenable to an expansion of your services into the licensing regime, then you either have to do it in a very small way, which can be cost prohibitive, or you've got to expand out into a whole new client base and basically start a whole new practice.
Having run a licensed practice for a number of years, Peter Fry Associates Director Peter Fry identified succession planning as something to be conscious of.
The big issue for us then is succession planning, because I can either have an accountant to come up behind me with some SMSF experience, or I need a financial planner coming in. Is there someone across both? Where does that all sit from a client perspective? And that's probably a big challenge that we're facing in the future.
After the lunch break, DBA Lawyers Director Bryce Figo took clients through the lessons from 10 significant judicial decisions, including Worcester versus Morris, that involved binding death benefit nominations.
In my opinion, and I always bang on about this, the most important thing is to make sure when it comes to succession planning, what you want to do is ensure control, that the right people are controlling the fund.
Well, that's it for another day here at the 2017 SMSF Association National Conference. Tomorrow's highlights include an address from Minister for Revenue and Financial Services, Kelly O'Dwyer, as well as a presentation from Antarctic Expedition Leader, Rachel Robertson. I'm Darren Tyson-Chan.